Can Dominick Reyes terminate the god of 205, Jon Jones? Hi there, I'm Shaquille Majouri for SB Nation MMA, and I talked to a bunch of fighters to get their thoughts on the main event light heavyweight title fight between Jon Jones and Dominick Reyes at UFC 247. Enjoy. First up is the Nightmare, Diego Sanchez.
Jon Jones versus Dominick Reyes. So many variables going into this fight. Jon, the so-called GOAT. Dominick Reyes, young and hungry, undefeated. It's one of those fights, man. I haven't watched enough Dominick Reyes footage to really critique and analyze. I'm watching him really knock out some really good guys. I watched him knock out OSP, right? If I'm right, he knocked out OSP, right? I thought I saw that in the highlight footage, and I was like looking at it, and I was like, all right, well, Jon couldn't really do damage on OSP, and Dominick Reyes, he went out there and knocked him out. So I factored that in. Chris Weidman is a champion, man. He's a really good fighter, regardless of 205 or middleweight. I thought he was going to do actually better at 205, and Dominick went in there and got the job done. He's got some skills out there, and I think as long as he can really be confident and be aggressive and be able to deal with Jon's length, because when he's just got that length, and so does Dom, though. Dom's a long guy too. You know, I haven't looked up the reach, but I know it's probably not as long as Jon's, but he's a big guy. He's a big boy too, and I'm pulling for Dominick Reyes. I hope he pulls it off. You know, I'm picking Dominick Reyes by upset, KO.
Introducing Andrea KGB Lee.
I'm gonna say Jones.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that
I mean, I just think Jones. He's just, man. He's Jon Jones.
He's got a lot of weapons.
Stop. He does. He's got a lot of weapons. He's freaking. His striking is like amazing. His wrestling's amazing. I mean, it's like he can take you down. You know,
and he's never been injured in a fight either.
Yeah, and he's
like, seriously.
He paces himself very well. I mean, when he was younger, he was coming out and he was going hard and fast. Now he's slowed down. He paces himself, you know, but he
Let's talk about
picks
that
his
reach.
shots. You know, his reach is incredible.
That's hard to deal with.
He's just a long, lanky guy.
I mean, his elbows are your average wingspan. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it's crazy.
This is top-ranked bantamweight Jimmie Rivera.
I'm going with the underdog. I mean, I think Jon Jones is going to win, but I kind of want to see the underdog. I want to see someone be able to dethrone Jon Jones.
Introducing PFL star Sarah Kaufman.
Yeah, you know, I don't know Dominick Reyes that well. I know that he's been very dominant in his fights. I think that Jon's ability to have the fight IQ to, you know, ensure that he doesn't take too much damage is going to be a big factor here. I don't think that Jon is untouchable, and Reyes could get his hands on him and get a finish, but I think that Jon is going to be able to utilize that fight IQ and frustrate Reyes at the start of the fight and probably go to a decision.
Next is the Magician John Dodson.
It's going to be an interesting matchup. Jon Jones will be like that lion that's been on top of the game, and here comes Dominick Reyes on the short end. If Dominick can go ahead and push the pace, Jon will be pretty much in the long run for a horrible night. But as quickly as Jon can adapt to everything, I think Dominick Reyes is pretty much Dominick Reyes is stepping into something that he hasn't been into for his whole fight career. I think he's going in against a dude who can pretty much change his whole game on top of the fly.
Former UFC champion Nicco Montano.
I gotta go with Jon Jones. He fights out of New Mexico, and he hasn't proven any reason not to.
This is Alex Perez.
I got Jon Jones, man. Dominick, I actually know I've trained with his older brother, Alex, but I got Jon, man. He's he's the best for a reason. And then when he's motivated, he's a motivated guy. And I just feel like Dominic lost to, I forget what's his name. He had a close fight. Yeah, I felt like he lost that fight. So I got Jones.
Say hi to Kajan Johnson.
Yeah, Jon Jones I'm interested in it's interesting to see what he's able to do now in like the later stages of his career, even though he's still incredibly young to even be calling the later stages of his career. But I don't know anything about Dominick Reyes. To speak to Jon Jones, though, I do see that he is no longer developing. I don't see any real new adaptations from Jon Jones in his fighting style. And all of his last opponents, I don't see him getting better. So I can't say anything about that, but I don't see Jon getting better, and that kind of scares me because as soon as somebody stops getting better, usually means that their passion is no longer there, or they just, even worse, they're operating from a place of delusion where they believe that they know everything and they don't need to learn anything else. They have the recipe and that's it. They don't need to continue to develop it anyway, which is terrifying at this level of the game. So that's all I can really say about that one.
Introducing Kevin Aguilar.
Oh, man. All right. Man, Jon Jones, the world champion, the guy who can't be defeated. It's, I mean, what else could be said about him that hasn't already been said? He knows he's the best. He's one of the greatest of all time, and he's practically unstoppable. But this new guy, he's hungry. And that's always dangerous, man. A fighter who's hungry, that's got nothing to lose except his undefeated record. Going in there against the champ, who the champ may have lost a step or two, who knows? But the undefeated fighter, who's got a lot of momentum right now, he makes him dangerous. But in the end of it, Jon Jones, it's hard to bet against him. So my money's on Jon.
Up next is Trevin Giles.
Are we rolling right now? Okay, yeah, I would say Jon Jones. Jon Jones over Reyes. I think they. I don't know. He's just Jon Jones is too good, and I think everybody that comes up against him, it's the UFC's job to make everything seem like a great fight, and that's not taking anything away from Reyes. Reyes is the beast too, and he's got a chance. He's got a puncher's chance, but Jon Jones is good, and he's fought people with a good puncher's chance and came out on top. So definitely going Jon Jones.
And last but not least, Jordan Espinosa.
This may be surprising to people. Jon Jones, his fights have been getting a little bit closer, and I know his time is coming. I know he's a big favorite, but I swear it's coming, and it's probably going to be this year. Is this the fight that he's going to get the throne? Maybe, but I'll still edge Jon Jones by a close decision.